Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Jess here, bringing you this week's goods and bads in the pro wrestling world. Starting with Monday Night Raw. It seems that Raw recently has just exploded with anger, and there's a lot of... everybody's incredibly pumped, and everyone's ready to fight. It isn't a bad thing, is not a bad thing. But finally, this week, we saw a really good match that actually involved Bobby Lashley and Rusev. But this time it was indeed a tag match with Angel Garcia and Lashley versus Humberto and Rusev. You know, these guys being two rising stars in the WWE, this match did actually take me by surprise. Never really thought it was a match that I wanted to see, but overall it was actually a really good match and I actually really enjoyed it, and I think a lot of people also did for once. So it's actually good to see that they're using Rusev and Lashley for something else rather than the crazy storyline that they've had going on for the past couple of months. And of course it was announced at Elimination Chamber that we will be having a match with the ladies that is going to determine who is going to be the #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship belt. So, as we've seen, NXT's Shayna Baszler is actually involved in the match. I'm pretty sure she's everyone's pick as well to win the match, and she's the one everybody wants her to... everyone wants Shayna to face Becky at WrestleMania. Obviously with her not winning the Royal Rumble, which not so happy about that. But anyway, the past few weeks we have seen Shayna coming onto Raw and trying to just rattle Becky. So this week was really good. She came onto Raw and she brought a great promo, and it's just... she wanted to intimidate Becky Lynch, right? She wanted to intimidate her. I definitely was intimidated by this. So if Becky wasn't, she made one person a little bit scared. But of course, right, okay. So I don't know about your opinions on this, but this is mine. This is my good and bad opinion. Obviously, I moaned for a little while, well, actually, more than a little while, that Seth was boring. Seth got a little bit boring. He got the same old guy. So now we have him, and obviously he's teamed up with Buddy Murphy and the AOP as well. And he is now the Monday Night Messiah. We have seen this past week, he came out and he was doing his bit. I'm not sure how I feel. Like, don't get me wrong, I was looking forward to seeing a different kind of Seth. Not sure if this is the way I really wanted it to go, so I don't know how I felt about it. I'm going to put it as a little bit of good, a little bit of bad this week, because it's good to see Seth doing something different, but at the same time, not really feeling the current gimmick that he has got going on. Okay, so moving on. Before I discuss AEW, Mr. Cody Rhodes deserves a round of applause. This guy is constantly stepping up his game at this promotion, and this week he did not disappoint, of course. He's still cage match against Wardlow, and you know, he's looking incredible. Both competitors are looking incredibly strong at the minute, and Cody threw himself off of the cage, taking the risk, and yes, it paid off. Was really great main event of the evening. Also in AEW this week, we had a tag team battle royal. This gave all the teams in AEW a chance to shine. Or easily, do you know, this is probably my favourite part of the show. If I'm completely honest, it was different. It was different to what I usually see, I suppose. Of course, we had some absolute standout stars. For me, Luchasaurus is always one of the best and probably one of my favourites, and the crowd is always behind him as well. Always behind him, always shouting for him. And, you know, I was really impressed with this match, really impressed. And of course, you know, the winner was earning an opportunity for the title shot. Moving on to NXT on our Wednesday Night Wars. We saw a great match between Jordan Devlin and Lio Rush for the Cruiserweight Championship. Like I said before, I've always been very, very impressed with Jordan Devlin. I've seen him wrestle live where I am from, and personally I just think he's a brilliant competitor. And Lio Rush is also someone who always puts on a good match. Despite Rush always, you know, being so great in this match, Devlin did manage to retain his belt. But obviously it's quite tough actually, because for me it's a shame. This is my bad point for NXT this week, and I'm not really sure what they're trying to achieve with Chelsea Green and Robert Stone at the moment. Personally, the whole thing they've got going on is not working. She had a match against Kaden Carter this week, and which of course was another flop. And it was interrupted and overshadowed by Bianca Belair calling out Charlotte Flair. So, not really sure what they're trying to do with Chelsea Green. I don't think she's ready for the spotlight and for the feuds herself. I think she needs a little bit more time. So, moving on to Friday night, where we had Smackdown this week. You know what? Smackdown was interesting this week for me. We saw the Bella Twins appear on the Moment of Bliss. They announced that the ladies were going into the Hall of Fame this year, which is great. They did a lot for the company. I've personally never been the biggest fan of the Bellas, but it is so good to celebrate their achievements as a woman as well. And also, we saw a match between Carmella and Naomi for the #1 contender for Bayley's wonderful Smackdown women's belt. Personally, I have always, for a little while, wanted Naomi to come back and take that championship off of Bayley. Naomi did win, which is great. As much as I love Carmella, she's brilliant, but Naomi deserves this shot so much, as she's super underrated and absolutely brilliant. And obviously Bayley was watching from the sidelines as well. It's a little tiny bit of pressure as well, but we saw Naomi take the win, and I actually really enjoyed the match. These two are always putting on a good match for me in my eyes. Carmella, you know, she gets a little bit of hate, and she doesn't always get nice things thrown at her, but this week's match was really good between them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to Naomi hopefully taking the belt off of Bayley. Lastly, to end Smackdown, we had Goldberg return, as he is going to be facing The Fiend at Super Showdown. And of course, Goldberg come out, tries to intimidate The Fiend, Firefly Funhouse, and of course Bray Wyatt bring in the best game he has, the mind games, the fun. He never fails to impress. The lights go off, The Fiend's there. When I spoke about this last time, I wasn't too sure on the matchup, if I'm completely honest. But as time is going on, it's quite a good person for Bray Wyatt to be against. Not sure how it's going to go at Super Showdown. I'm not sure what the outcome's going to be. I really don't know. I can't even call this one. But I actually really enjoyed this little segment on Smackdown this week, and actually put the icing on the cake for me this week. So yes, thoroughly enjoyed that. Now, to end the video, I am going to tell you what the best show of the week was for me in my eyes, and yet again it was AEW. I'm pretty sure I said that last time as well. AEW are killing it. They are killing it at the minute. They're still beating on the ratings as well, and I'm not surprised, because they are really shining and trying some new things. So I am still looking forward to see what they're going to put on. But yes, best show of the week is AEW. Let's see what happens next week. Who knows, after Super Showdown everything may change, and we may get something a little bit different. But that is the end of today's video. Make sure you check out my socials. Watches Jess on Twitter and Jess Watches Wrestling on YouTube. And also make sure you like and subscribe to Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And I shall see you very soon.